The Sky Dragon rises. Why China's J-10C is the most fearsome fighter jet so far. Welcome to the jet age of the East. The sound you just heard wasn't thunder. It was a Chinese J-10C jet breaking the sound barrier and possibly rewriting the rules of aerial warfare. You may know it as the J-10C, but military buffs affectionately call it by nicknames like the Vigorous Dragon or simply the Sky Reaper. And no, this isn't sci-fi. This bird is very, very real, and it's soaring into the spotlight with a roar. Forget Hollywood's obsession with the F-22 Raptor or Russia's Su-57. The J-10C isn't just China's answer to the fifth-gen arms race. It's a bold statement that the Dragon is not just rising, it's ready to rule the skies. Chapter 1. From Copycat to Innovator. A Dragon's Evolution. Once upon a time, people scoffed at Chinese fighter jets. Cheap knockoffs, they said. Reverse-engineered MiGs, they sneered. But somewhere along the way, China decided to stop copying and start creating. Enter the J-10C, the most advanced variant of the J-10 series. Born from decades of technological leapfrogging, espionage and relentless R&D, this is not your granddad's fighter. The J-10C is sleek, deadly and smarter than you think. And it's the perfect symbol of China's modern military-industrial machine. Ambitious, fast and terrifyingly efficient. Chapter 2. Design that dazzles. The Falcon with a dragon's heart. Let's talk looks. The J-10C has the classic canard-delta wing configuration, something you might remember from the Eurofighter Typhoon or the Dassault Rafale. It's aerodynamic poetry in motion. But it's not just for show. Those canards, the little wings near the cockpit, give the J-10C stunning maneuverability. Imagine doing pirouettes at Mach 2. That's the J-10C on a lazy Tuesday. And underneath that sexy surface, composite materials reduce radar cross-section, giving it semi-stealth capabilities. It's not full-on invisible like an F-35, but good luck spotting it in combat. It's like a ninja wearing a tuxedo, stylish and lethal. Chapter 3. The Tech That. Bites, radar, weapons and avionics. Here's where the J-10C starts flexing hard. AESA radar. Seeing without being seen. The J-10C is equipped with an active electronically scanned array, AESA radar, which is basically the equivalent of having Superman's X-ray vision but for the sky. It can track multiple targets, jam enemy radars, and help the pilot make split-second kill decisions. Electronic warfare, EW systems, Jedi mind tricks. This isn't just a jet, it's a flying hacker. The J-10C can jam, spoof, and scramble. Incoming radar or missile systems, it's like flying with a cyber attack system on board. Now you see it, now you don't. Weapons loadout, a flying arsenal. Oh boy, the J-10C is a multirole fighter, which means it doesn't care whether it's air-to-air, air-to-ground, or just ruining someone's weekend. It's ready. PL-15 long-range, air-to-air missiles. These beasts can outrange even American AMRAAMs, with rumored ranges over 200 kilometers. You could be flying in a different time zone and still get smoked. PL-10 short-range IR missiles, agile, accurate and deadly, perfect for dogfighting, smart bombs and precision-guided munitions, because who needs collateral damage? Chapter 4. The Pilot's Paradise, Cockpit of the Future. Strap into the J-10C's cockpit and you'll quickly realize this isn't just a fighter jet. It's a flying supercomputer with wings, missiles, and an attitude. The moment the canopy seals shut and the HUD head-up display flickers to life, you're no longer just a pilot. You're the central node in a networked AI-assisted weapon ecosystem. Everything around you is designed for efficiency, clarity, and domination. This is not your grandpa's dashboard of dials and analog gauges. This is Iron Man's interface, real-world edition, fly-by-wire, thought-controlled flight. The J-10C uses a digital fly-by-wire system, which means you're not physically moving control surfaces. You're sending inputs to a flight computer that adjusts them for you, faster than human reflexes ever could. It's like flying with a ghost co-pilot that can read your mind and correct your mistakes before you even know you made them. The result? Unbelievable agility and precise control, even during high-G maneuvers that would turn lesser aircraft and pilots into confetti. Helmet-mounted display, HMD. Look, lock, launch. Now let's talk about the helmet, because oh boy, this is where things get sci-fi. The J-10C's HMD allows the pilot to simply look at a target. Yes, just look, and the aircraft's weapon systems will lock on automatically. No need to line up the entire jet. See an enemy fighter off your wing, glance at it, cue the missile, and boom, it's like having eyes that shoot fireballs. This kind of look-and-shoot capability radically changes air combat. Dogfights become three-dimensional chess matches where reaction time and situational awareness are everything, and the J-10C gives its pilot a massive edge. Battle Management System, the sky's smartest co-pilot. In modern air warfare, information is everything, and the J-10C delivers it in buckets. The cockpit is loaded with multifunction displays, sensor fusion, and a battle management system that acts like an in-flight strategist. It gathers intel from radar, electronic warfare suites, infrared sensors, and even nearby friendly drones or aircraft, then distills it into actionable info. You don't see noise, you see a battle map, dynamic and alive, constantly updating with threats, targets, and mission objectives. The pilot becomes less of a button pusher and more of a battlefield commander, capable of making decisions that can affect an entire squadron's success in real time. Ergonomics and ease, designed for the long haul. Even the ergonomics are elite. The cockpit is tailored for comfort and endurance, because high-G turns, long sorties, and high-stress missions demand it. Every switch, every dial, every display is placed where it makes the most sense. There's no wasted motion, no reaching awkwardly, no guessing what that blinking light means. In fact, the J-10C's cockpit is so intuitive that some pilots say it feels more like sitting in a high-end racing simulator than flying a war machine. You don't just fly the aircraft, you wear it. And yes, if you've spent a few too many hours in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you might look at this cockpit and think, hey, I've got this. A spoiler alert, you don't, but it feels like you do. AI assistance, the silent partner. What truly sets the J-10C apart is the growing integration of AI assistance. It's not just about automation, it's about augmentation. AI modules help with threat assessment, fuel management, targeting prioritization, and even evasive maneuvers. It's like having a squad of engineers, weapons officers, and tacticians in your headset. whispering exactly what you need to do before you even ask. This means the pilot can focus on tactics, not toggles. It's next-level multitasking, and it makes one J-10C pilot as effective as 2 or 3 in older generation jets. The verdict: a cockpit built for dominance. All of this comes together to create what many are calling one of the most pilot-friendly cockpits in the world, and one of the deadliest. From the tech to the comfort to the raw situational awareness it delivers, the J-10C turns a human pilot into a skybound superhero. It's not about flying anymore, it's about commanding the battle space. So yeah, this isn't just a cockpit, it's a throne. And whoever sits in it rules the skies. Chapter 5. Engine of Change. Pushing the limits. Originally powered by Russian engines, the latest J-10Cs are being outfitted with China's WS-10 Taihang engines, a leap in domestic jet engine development. The result? Supercruise capabilities, sustained supersonic flight without afterburners, and greater thrust-to-weight ratio, giving the J-10C a serious leg up in sustained air combat. Sure, it's not quite at the level of the F-22's Pratt & Whitney F-119s, but give it a few more years. The Dragon is learning fast. Chapter Chapter 6. Fearsome in Formation. China's aerial doctrine. The J-10C isn't flying solo. It's the backbone of a new kind of air force, one that's combining manned jets, stealth drones, and networked warfare. Imagine a J-10C leading a squadron of loyal wingmen, unmanned, AI-piloted stealth drones feeding it data, jamming enemies, and launching missiles on command. That's not sci-fi, that's China's intelligentized warfare doctrine. In future conflicts, the J-10C might not even need to fire a shot. It'll just direct the battle from the clouds, like a digital air general. Chapter 7. The Global Game Changer. China isn't just building the J-10C for its own skies, it's sending this dragon out into the world, wings spread wide. While Western nations typically keep their top-tier jets locked behind layers of export restrictions, China is playing a very different game, one of influence, partnerships, and strategic proliferation. The Pakistan Factor. Dragon squadrons take. Flight enter Pakistan, the first international operator of the J-10C, proudly calling it the Dragon from the East. In 2022, the Pakistan Air Force, PAF, formally inducted the J-10C into service, signaling not just a new level of firepower, but a new kind of regional arms race. This wasn't just a weapons deal, it was a statement, a message to rivals like India that the skies over South Asia were about to get very interesting. Pakistan's J-10Cs are being positioned alongside their older fleet of JF-17s, also co-developed with China, effectively turning the PAF into a high-tech hybrid force. It's fast, flexible, and, perhaps most importantly, affordable. You don't need an oil baron's wallet to field a squadron of J-10Cs. You just need the right diplomatic handshake. The strategic export strategy, influence with afterburners. Unlike the United States, which often ties military exports to a tangled web of regulations, democracy benchmarks, and political negotiations, China is playing a longer, smoother game. Its message is clear. You want 4.5 Gen capabilities? You want them fast? Let's talk. This is appealing not just to traditional allies like Pakistan, but to a growing number of developing nations looking to modernize their air forces without bankrupting their treasuries. Countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia are increasingly drawn to China's aircraft, and not just for their specs, but for the package deal. Weapons, training, maintenance, spare parts, and long-term support all rolled into one diplomatic bargain. Think of it as military as a service, and the J-10C is the crown jewel of the package. Mass production, the jet factory empire. Then there's the production angle. China doesn't build jets like other countries. It builds them like it builds everything else, at scale. With massive state-run aerospace facilities and a vertically integrated supply chain, China can pump out J-10Cs with a rhythm that would give Lockheed Martin heart palpitations. This production power means that if a conflict were ever to go hot, or if a country suddenly needs a full air wing delivered yesterday, China can do it. No 10-year waiting list, no congressional hearings, just jets ready to fly. As military analysts put it, China builds jets the way Apple builds iPhones. Fast, beautiful, and in terrifying numbers. Except these iPhones are armed with long-range missiles and can dance at Mach 2. Redefining air superiority on a budget. What makes the J-10C so dangerous on the global stage isn't just its raw performance, it's the price-performance ratio. Nations who can't afford $80 million for a single F-35 now have another option, a jet that may not be invisible to radar, but is invisible to budget cuts. This democratization of air power is a strategic nightmare for the West. Imagine dozens of countries flying J-10Cs, training together, sharing data, and slowly becoming reliant on Chinese tech ecosystems. It's not just military power, it's influence through infrastructure. Conclusion: the jet that changed the game. Is the J-10C the best fighter jet in the world? Maybe not yet. But here's the scary part. It doesn't have to be. It's good. Enough to challenge Western air dominance. Cheap enough to produce en masse and smart enough to evolve. It's a shark in a pond full of dolphins. It's the next generation jet of an emerging superpower, and it's only getting better. The J-10C is more than just a fighter jet. It's a symbol, a signal, a wake-up call, and somewhere in the quiet, blue above us, a dragon is circling. Final fun fact, the J-10C's nickname in China is Vigorous Dragon, but don't be fooled by the poetic name. This isn't a fairy tale creature. It's a high-speed, missile-laden predator with its eyes on the sky,